How to select a technology for your business. Let's create a checklist, because probably we might have a certain requirements our software at the end have to fit in. And most of the time there are 5 questions. We only have to define, or let's say only 5 questions are really important for the technology selection, because everything else is either a confirmation bias or a subjective opinion. And objectively we can define those 5 things as: first, how well the documentation is described. Documentation is essential, and well-described documentation can save you a lot of time and probably save hours of time for you and your team and your project in general. In this documentation you then probably will be able to find how our problem is going to be solved by the selected technology. Usually when you try to figure out how our problem is going to be solved with the selected technology, or let's say pre-selected technology, you will actually figure out if this exact technology can actually solve the problem, or it was a false statement you googled somewhere in the internet. And then, while you are figuring out whether this exact technology can solve your problem, you then might evaluate how complex is this technology, how simple you can apply the methods or approaches described in this documentation, and how well this technology fits your technical skills that you have, or technical skills of the team that you have. So the complexity as a third point is attached to the second point, to the question how it solves our problem. It's also attached to the documentation, how well documentation is described. So those 3 points are going together. And then fourth point, that might seem it's not part of the main equation, however, it's also incredibly important. And the fourth point is how popular is the technology, because the popularity of technology will give you very big leverage. And representation of this leverage can be, for example, how well or how many issues are solved or proposed in the GitHub, how many articles or posts or questions were asked in Stack Overflow. And because most probably people are selecting this technology because they have similar or identical problems to what you want to solve, and most probably they already have solved this problem, and then they already have published their concerns and issues and bugs about this exact technology. So you can check whether those issues or bugs are already have been solved, if they were addressed, or you even can find feedback from the developers of this technology, or developers who are using this technology in the public spaces such as GitHub issues or Stack Overflow, and you can make a decision whether you want to go ahead with this technology, or it's not that popular, it's not a lot of issues, it's not a lot of people actually tested this implementation. And then the fifth point, and I would wrap it up, and this point is expenses. How expensive is to use this technology. And expenses are not direct as costs for your services. It can be also emphasized as a time and space people require to implement this technology, learn this technology, or whether the actual price at the labor market for the hour is significantly higher than the alternatives for this technology that you want to select. Every time we inside the team want to figure out what we actually want to implement, we also have this bonus option, like bonus point, which is 6 point, which I don't like. Hear me out, it also plays a nice thing, because sometimes you want to work with something fancy, and sometimes this fanciness creates a certain point of excitement that people can dedicate and move along with the implementation faster than using the boring solution that they already have been using for a while. This is why this factor is optional, it's a bonus factor, and I would suggest you all probably want to use it with the team with which you already bring to life some projects, because that can be very dangerous. People, sometimes they are chasing the new technology because they are fancy, and this is a combination of rewarding, because you learn something new and you accomplish the goal. It's more fulfilling than just reach the goal. It's always nice for developers to get a new technology on board so they feel better, because it's a fuel for curiosity, and people are very curious and they want to have that.